What a huge football weekend it's going to be. College football tonight, college football Saturday, wild card weekend for the NFL beginning as well. And who better to bring on to break it down and put a little jingle in your pocket? It's our man, fresh and ready to roll. It's Ross Benjamin, wagertalk.com. Ross the Boss, good afternoon. It's good to hear you and good to see you again. How you doing, pal?
Good to see you too, Sam. Belated happy holidays.
Yes, sir. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all rolled into one. It's been a couple of weeks, and we're back at it. I've been following you, of course, at Ross Benjamin, at Wager Talk, and you're still knocking it out of the park, man. Football, basketball, you got it rolling, and I can't wait to get your thoughts on some pigskin action coming up. And before we get into the games of college and pro, Ross, what do you make of, which it happens every year, but it's still like, whoa, wow, all the hirings and firings in the NFL. It's hard to keep up with at some point, but who do you think lands at some of these open spots and who doesn't?
Well, the biggest surprise to me might have been John Harbaugh, although some people predicted that. I didn't see it coming. You look at 18 years there and the record he's put together. Yeah, they choked a little bit during the postseason, but that's not all on him. And the other hirings and firings, I don't have a real strong opinion on. I because of the line of work I'm in, I'm more focused on what's happening in the point spreads and all that kind of stuff, Sam. But Kevin Stefanski is rumored to be wanted by a couple teams, and two-time NFL Coach of the Year. Correct me if I'm wrong, with Cleveland. Correct. So just interested to know any insight on who the Browns are looking at.
Well, they've announced that they are going to give Jim Schwartz an interview tomorrow. They're interviewing,
deservedly so.
Yes, Tommy Reese is getting an interview. You have to at least pick up the phone and call for John Harbaugh. I don't know if they will or not. Of course, Mike McDaniel just got fired by the Dolphins today. There was a little bit of talk.
There's a little bit of a telltale sign there, right, Sam?
Yeah, it's funny how things line up, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. I just hope the Browns get it right, Ross.
I think they'll get it right with Schwartz. I think he's well deserving of another head coaching opportunity. The guy is a brilliant defensive mind. Say what you will about the Browns year. It finished on a high note, by the way, but still all in all disappointing, but not because of the defensive performance. That's for sure.
Yeah. Defense kept them in pretty much all season long. All right. Well, we'll see how the coaching carousel goes. Right now, we're going to rock into college football. They sure do spread it out, Ross, but here we are. We got one tonight, one tomorrow, and the Natty coming up on the 19th of January. But what a nice, fresh, new, fun Final Four for football. Miami, Ole Miss, Oregon, and Indiana. I think it's great for the sport. I don't know. What about you?
I do too, and not a lot of people might have predicted this Final Four. Maybe Oregon was probably the only obvious choice that possibly could have got there. But the other three teams, I just think it's refreshing for the sport. It's good for college football. You're not seeing the same blue bloods in there. And nothing against you Ohio State fans out there, but and Alabama fans, but a little bit of Georgia fans, a little bit of change is always good when it comes to any particular sport or any particular topic for that matter. So I'm looking forward to it, Sam.
Yeah, I am too. Of course, I'm a big Buckeye fan, but I even have to. I got to tip my cap to what happened to what Miami did to Ohio State, and we'll come back fight next year. But we got a great couple of semifinals coming up, and let's start with tonight out in Arizona, where the average ticket price, Ross, is the lowest in the history of the college football playoffs for a semifinal. $51 can get you in the door tonight for the U and Ole Miss. -3 is the line right now. Miami, Florida, the total 52.5. Let's break this baby down. Rebels, Canes.
Yeah, two teams from the Southeast going west. I think that has a little to do with it, how much their fan bases are willing to travel at that at that kind of cost. But having said that, this is a really intriguing matchup. Look, whoever wins this game, I could see going into the national championship game is going to be labeled as a team of destiny. I mean, Miami, a controversial pick to be in some people's minds, not mine. But they were the last at-large bid. And Ole Miss, who would have thought? A lot of people wouldn't have thought, including myself, that when the regular season ended and Lane Kiffin pulled the shenanigans, that Ole Miss would be in the college football semifinal in a very winnable game to get to the national championships game. So that's where the intrigue comes in. I'm looking at the first half total here, Sam. I'm always looking for the best value. I know you like the game total to go over, and I could see that coming to fruition. But you look at Miami, 14 games played this year, 12-2 to the under against the first half total with a combined 19.3 points scored per game. Two very low-scoring games in their first two playoff games. They shut out Texas A&M in the first half. I think they allowed 3 to Ohio State in the first half.
Yeah.
So they've been tremendous in that regard, but they haven't been lighting it up offensively in the first half either. Miami, by the way, 7-0 to the under against the first half total against teams like Mississippi, who averaged 31 or more points per game, and the Rebels averaging over 37 points per game. And Ole Miss in 4 non-conference games this year versus Division I opponents, only allowing 4 points per contest in the first half. Now, they're going up a little bit in class in this one, but I like this under. It's right now you can get it at 25.5, at 25.5 to going under the first half total.
Under the first half total of 25.5. Ross Benjamin, wagertalk.com. That's wagertalk.com. We'll get those graphics up on the screen and let you know how you can get right to Ross and get his outstanding picks, not only tonight and all weekend, but all year long. Ross Benjamin with Wager Talk, our guest here on 1310 WDPN. I tried to use your theory of think like an odds maker when I was looking at this total. I know it opened up at 51 and a half. It took a tick up to 52 and a half, a couple of 53s, but not many now. And I thought, gosh, that seems a little high for the defensive talent on both sides of the ball. But I thought, you know what? They got it up there for a reason. Maybe one of these teams is going to have an ultra breakout night. I don't know, but I kind of like the overall total to go over in the controlled environment under the roof out in Arizona. But, man, Ross, Miami's defense, and even Ole Miss, I think their defense gets a little bit undersold. I mean, heck, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this thing ended up 17-14 either.
You're talking about Ole Miss and Miami?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the only thing that scares me about the Ole Miss defense, Sam, is the fact that in your opening game in the playoffs against Tulane, who was a college football playoff in the field, but they weren't college football playoff caliber by any stretch of the imagination. They only gave up 10 in that game, but it was deceiving because they gave up over 400 yards of total offense in that contest. Tulane shot themselves in the foot, a lot of missed fourth down conversions. But it looks real to me with Miami in that regard. So you never know. Miami's not exactly lighting it up offensively, Sam.
Yeah, they're not.
You know,
they're not. It's gonna be fun to watch. I know that. Tomorrow night. Oh, I love this one. Indiana and Oregon. A little bit after 7:30 tomorrow down in Atlanta. Right now, the Hoosiers are minus 3.5. The total hanging around 48 and a hook. Ross, what Kurt Signetti has done with Indiana is almost beyond mind-blowing, taking nothing away from Dan Lanning with Oregon. He's got a great program, but the Indiana Hoosiers, man, if you would have told me Indiana football was going to be doing this 5, 10, 15, 20, 35 years ago, I'd have laughed you right off the set. This is an incredible story.
Yeah, Signetti, not bad at James Madison either, his previous stop, you know. So this guy's just done awfully well for himself, no matter where he's landed. And I think Indiana, if they're smart, they'll keep him landed for quite some time now. But, two really good defenses. I mean, I think that gets lost in the shuffle when you look at Oregon and Indiana because they put up pretty much some dynamic offensive numbers, and Oregon showed that so far in the playoffs. But, I mean, Indiana as well. But, look, the Hoosiers, again, you're looking at this line at 3.5, and it stayed 3.5, and they've already played this year. Indiana won that game 30-20, and it was a very deceiving 50 points scored in that game. When you look at the fact that Oregon was held to a season low below 300 yards, and Indiana just a little over 300 yards in that game. One of Oregon's touchdowns came out of pick six. So again, the 50 points scored to me is a little bit deceiving in that regard. And this total opened at 47. It's now up to 48.5 or 49, which is catching a lot of public money, not sharp money. I like the under here, Sam. If you can get 49, even better, but at 48.5, I'm fine with. Matter of fact, anything 48 or higher, I would go under in this game because I just think that we're going to see a 20-17 type of game, 20, maybe 23-20 type of contest. I don't see this not being a close game. So the picking a side and against the spread here is a little more difficult for me, but I'm going to go with the under.
Yeah, I think that's a good play too. I think the defenses are really, really good, and the fact that it is a rematch, but it was quite a while ago. It wasn't like they just played, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's been a little while, and heck, I'm all for it. Let's go. Indiana, Oregon. Ross likes under the 48.5 in the total in that one. All right, Ross, before we get to the NFL, let all of us know how we can get a hold of you. We can reach you. We can see what's going on at wagertalk.com. Ross Benjamin, the picks, the Weekend Warrior package. Give us all the goodies.
Yeah, Weekend Warrior package, $49 will include all my NFL playoff premium picks on Saturday and Sunday, including a 5% best bet. You also get all my NBA and college basketball picks as well as part of that package. It's a great deal for Saturday and Sunday. And here's an even better deal. It's $20 more, $69, 7-day all-access pass. Just imagine if you jumped in today, Sam, you're going to get my college football playoff premium picks for Thursday and Friday, tonight and Friday, I should say, and all my NFL playoff premium picks, as well as my NBA and college basketball for the next 7 days. Normally $99, right now $69. That's less than $10 a day to take advantage of that. And folks, if you haven't been following me, you should, because my all sports premium picks since May the 13th, up over 172 units in net profit. NFL on a 25-16 run. College football has just been fabulous since the last 3 seasons. Right now on I think a 54-28 run with my college football postseason picks, including 13-4 this year, 5-1 in the college football playoffs. So a couple great specials there.
Let's get them. There you go. Right up on the screen, your Weekend Warrior package. Also, WT.buzz/RB. That's WT.buzz/RB. Take advantage. He's our man, Ross the Boss, Ross Benjamin from wagertalk.com. All right, we are going to roll into what should be a very, very good NFL wildcard weekend. We start Saturday. Rams in Carolina, 4:30. The Rams are laying 10.5. The total 46.5. What do you think, Panthers, LA?
Well, Carolina coming off a 16-14 loss at Tampa last week, and somehow they ended up winning the tiebreaker because Atlanta won a real convoluted way to win the division, 8-9. But here's the thing with Carolina. 6-0 to the over in their last 6 home games after scoring 14 or fewer in their previous game. That includes that happened 3 times this year, all 3 going over, obviously, and 53 points scored per contest. Now, the Rams, they played over the total in 7 of their 8 road games this year, and that includes 5-0 to the over on the road if they scored 30 points or more in their previous game, which they've done quite a few times this year. Obviously, they've done it 5 times and followed that up with a road game in which they went over the total on all 5 occasions. They're coming off that 37-20 win against Arizona. Those 5 contests averaged 55.8 points scored per game. And, Sam, since the 1996 postseason began, only 5 teams have been a road favorite of 5 or higher.
Wow.
That's 5 teams since 1996. All 5 of those games went over the total, just a shade under 60 points scored per contest. So I'm going over the total here. Rams, Panthers, over 46.5.
Over 46.5, the Panthers and the Rams. You got it right from the man himself, Ross Benjamin at wagertalk.com. You want to get right to him, get there, wt.buzz/RB. All right, Ross, weather alert. Saturday night, Chicago. The Bears in the Packers right now. Green Bay -1.5. The total 44.5. I just saw a report less than an hour ago. A major winter storm is due to hit around the Chicago area late Saturday afternoon. It will feel like -9 with the wind chill, but they're expecting a ton of snow around the stadium Saturday night. I'm interested to see how bad it gets. These teams just played a couple of weeks ago. What do you think? It's win or go home. Bears getting 1.5 at home, total 44.5.
You got 2 teams limping in, right, Sam? I mean, Chicago losing their last 2 games, still walking away with the number 2 seed, despite the fact they're losing to Detroit in their final game, final regular season game, thanks to Philadelphia not playing anybody and losing their final game. They're the number 2 seed. Green Bay lost their last 4 games in a row. Now, granted, Jordan Love didn't play last week. Has been banged up. But anyway, there's only been 2 times since 1980 that a team entered the playoffs on a 4-game losing streak. And both times those teams went 0-2 straight up in ATS and lost on each occasion by 14 points, for what it's worth. The Chicago Bears coming in with that 2-game losing streak. And I was very shocked to see how well home teams do entering the playoffs on a 2-game losing streak. They do awfully well. And I'm not going to bore you with all the details and betting angles as they pertain to this. But teams like Chicago in this situation have done awfully well. I'm not crazy about this game. The weather, number one.
Right.
And the both teams coming in with no momentum whatsoever. I will have a small lean here, though, on Chicago, plus 1.5 against Green Bay. But again, very conservative play at the best.
Yeah, with the weather could be like, you gotta hold your nose on that one. Ross Benjamin is our guest, wagertalk.com. Let's roll to Sunday. We got a trifecta now. 1 o'clock. Your Buffalo Bills at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville -1.5. Big total here, 51.5, Ross.
Yeah, I think let's see here. The last I looked, and I'm looking right now, Buffalo is -1 or 1.5, and they're pick 'em at a couple places. So they're a road favorite. And everything in my mind says Jacksonville. My eye test says Jacksonville. This is a team that's 8-0 straight up in ATS in their last 8 games. Yet they're a home underdog in this spot against a Buffalo team that's flawed on both sides of the ball. However, let's stop and look at experience here. Big game experience. Josh Allen's made 13 postseason starts. He's been unbelievable in the postseason. They haven't lost any games in the postseason with Josh Allen as their starter because of Josh Allen. It's usually because of defensive deficiencies against mostly Patrick Mahomes and a dynamic, at the time, Kansas City offense. And Trevor Lawrence has made 2 postseason starts. They came in 2023, 5 touchdowns against 5 interceptions. I don't know. To me, again, think like an odds maker. You got a team that's 8-0 straight up in ATS in their last 8. They've only lost one game at home this year, and that was against the number 1 seed Seattle Seahawks, the number 1 seed in the NFC, and they're a home underdog. Give me the Bills just because I have a contrarian mindset. Yes, I am a Buffalo fan, folks, but Sam knows from working with me that I try to be as objective as I can on a professional level, and I'm being objective here when I say give me Buffalo. Any other team in the same situation as Buffalo against Jacksonville, I'm doing the same identical thing.
Ross, I don't want to put the whammy on you, but when this matchup came out and the line came out, all over Buffalo. And I'll take it a step further. My Super Bowl game is Buffalo and the Rams. I've already got that locked in. So
I hope you're right on the Buffalo side of things. Anyway.
I know you do. Ross Benjamin, wagertalk.com. Check him out. WT.buzz/RB, wagertalk.com. Ross, we got about 5 minutes. We're going to hustle through here. Sure. Niners, Eagles at the link. Philly -5.5. The total 44 and a hook.
Yeah, I just, San Francisco went from possibly being the number 1 seed, losing at home 13-3 to Seattle, to all the way dropping all the way to the number 6 seed, and now having to go on the road on the East Coast against the defending world champions who have allowed just 15 points in under 300 yards per game defensively over their last 5. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles here, lay the points against San Francisco.
Ross, the boss, says take Philly. Niners are a little beat up, too. Had some guys out in practice this week. Eagles -5.5 the call there. Ross Benjamin, wagertalk.com. 8 o'clock, Chargers, Patriots. Oh, the glory days, the good times are back in Foxborough. What do you think? Patriots in L.A., Ross?
Well, I think I don't have a pick on the side as of the moment, but I think right now the best value I see as of this moment, there's still 3 days before they play this game. We're looking at a team total for New England of 24.5, and the Patriots have scored 26 points or more in their last 8 and 10 of their last 11. I think that trend will hold up there, and at 24.5, I like a small play right now on the New England Patriots over their team total of 24.5.
Over 24.5 team total for the Patriots, says Ross Benjamin. We wrap it up as they draw this thing out. Monday night, 8:15, Acrisure Stadium, the Steelers and the Texans. Houston, small road favorite at -3, total 38.5. Ross, what do you got? Steelers, Texans.
Yeah, Houston's clearly the better team in this matchup, and I think this point spread is justified, even though it's a playoff game. Road favorites in the playoffs haven't fared well over the last 30 years or so, but I think this is an exception to the rule. I just think Houston's defense will be too much for Pittsburgh. I think they'll have success running the ball against the Steelers, and I also like this game to go under the total. I just think that Pittsburgh's going to have a hell of a time scoring, and Houston, they're going to control the clock with the running game, and they play very well with the lead. I like Houston here, lay the points, and I like the under 38.5.
Ross Benjamin, Texans -3 and under the 38.5 on Monday night. Check out the Weekend Warrior package. You want to get right to Ross, get all his great picks as well at WT.buzz/RB. He gets it done in football. He gets it done in basketball. He gets it done in baseball. He just gets it done. Ross Benjamin. Ross, good to hear and see you again. Again, Happy New Year to you. Enjoy what should be a fantastic football weekend, and we'll do it again next week.
You as well, Sam, and always a pleasure to be with you, my friend. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Ross Benjamin, wagertalk.com.